Welcome back, MTG Joe here, and today we're going to be playing some more Historic, and we are going to be trying out a Black-White Death Shadow list. I took this list from the Hooglandia current tournament that's going on. Present moment it is 4-0. So basically it is a deck that you want to do damage to yourself, and the reason we want to do damage is because of the creature Death Shadow. It's a 1 mana 13/13, but it gets minus XX where your life basically equal to your life total. So we have a number of ways to hurt ourselves. Thoughtseize, a lot of pain lands in the form of like Emeria and Agadeems. We have a Danto Vanguard that you can on a whim pay mana. We have a bunch of discard, 6 spells main, and then what we have is a one-of package of All Seed, Fairy Guide Mother. These are both for evasion, Giant Killer's removal, Selfless Savior as protection. And the reason we have that is because of Ranger of Eos. Ranger lets us go through our deck and take 2 cards and put it into our hand. And we kind of pair it that. And then we have Disruption in the form of Elite Spellbinder and Skyclave Apparition. Outside of that, we have a pretty versatile, I think black and white are 2 of the better colors in Historic, just in terms of sideboard hate. Another Bloodchief's Thirst as removal, some Duresses versus Control, couple Rest in Pieces for graveyard decks, Fracture as a pretty versatile removal spell. Dire Tactics is removal that also deals us damage. We have some Thalias to slow down people, Vanishing versus removal, Arcane to slow people down as well, and then an Ashiok, both for tutor hate as well as to mill and exile. So let's take it through. We are Diamond rank. We'll play a couple games. The client is very laggy today. Pretty much every game I do need to restart, like even just trying to queue up. So we will try to get some games in. The video might be a little just kind of choppy in between games where I have to cut it up. But hopefully you're doing well. As always, if you are catching this on the YouTube, if you can, drop a like, comment, and subscribe. It's all free and easy ways to help support the channel. We've been playing a bunch of decks today, just kind of having some fun playing non-packed, tainted pack decks, trying to get to Mythic. Played a couple different styles in the last couple days. There's an Is It Wizards burn list, but it's pretty similar in essence to the Blitz deck we played the other day, so I'll probably wait a couple days to play it. But if you're interested, let me know and I'll drop the link. Otherwise, let me know if you've found any new cool decks in Historic. Probably get around to playing Jeskai Control as well in the near future. Against Jengantha, I think we mulligan. Okay, sounds much better. Gonna put the line back. Given that they have the oven already, I wanna... So I'm actually gonna conceal what we are. They're gonna... This is a tough matchup to begin with, but game 1, we can't really beat that. So it's important in games just to understand when like sometimes showing no information game 1 is actually beneficial. So how do we want to interact here? So the big thing is claim can hurt us. Adanto's very poor in this matchup just because it could get shot down. So what we want to try to do is become a little bit more of a combo-y control deck. Arcane is evasive, so it gets around it. We can try with like a mill plan also to exile their graveyard. This hits Woe Strider, doesn't hit Corvold. Probably need some Dire Tactics. Fairy can go evasive. All Seed's fine. Probably going to take out the Giant Killer, Selfless Savior. Take out the Thoughtseize. Don't really want Thoughtseize, so having said that, maybe we do keep a Savior. I actually don't hate Duress. Let's try it like this. So really, like, that hand there was no good choices. So Cat's going to repeatedly be able to drain our life buffer their life total and block our knights. If we take the Mayhem Devil, they still have a threat, so his hand's much better here. If we leave them with the trail, then every turn they get to draw an extra card. So here we get to go on the play. We have the advantage. All they saw out of us was basically a discard spell. So here, given our hand, we'll go, doesn't really matter here. Just rest in peace here. So this shuts off a lot of their synergies. And in this matchup too, I do want to be conscientious of my life total. They do a lot of incremental damage. So it's not just blatantly go in and like shock yourself, shock yourself, shock yourself when your opponent can pressure you. So now that we drew this, it is a consideration. I'm gonna hold off here. Let's just see what's happening. Okay, so their hand is pretty anemic. So they do have a devil that they can then play. It's a pretty free attack. So I probably want... So I'm gonna get a Death Shadow for sure. Question is, do we just Shadow? Or do I All Seed for protection? I can also Fairy Guide Mother. It's probably just Shadow. So be able to kill Spellbinder here. It's notable, it could gain them some life, also draws them a card. They may wait till next turn. So I think what we're doing here... do one pump. Hoping they didn't have that. So we need a way to damage ourselves a bit. Actually, that was dumb. We're just gonna lose these. Great draw for them. Yeah, we're dead here. That was odd on their part, to say the least. So they gain 3, I keep it back. So they could take the sack here, put a point of damage to my face. If they didn't have the food, then I would have tried to threaten lethal, so they had to double block. I think given this turn, we just play this out, play this out. So we just need to avoid, like, claim the firstborn. If they have claim, we die anyways. I didn't play this too tight, but the opponent misplayed as well. And a large thing, like, with this deck falling out of favor, it's allowed this deck to kind of be playable. I wouldn't say competitive, but playable. So here, they have to block 2. So this is actually kind of cool for us because we took 4 damage, so Night of Eben Legion will grow. So I don't think they have a way out here. Okay. So I think we cut the duress. Maybe we keep the duress. Because the thing is, this doesn't really hit much. I guess it hits Trail and Rider, which is reasonable in itself. Alright, let's try this again. I'm basically just playing Archon of Emeria as a way to like attack in the air. Okay, this hand's not great in terms of pressure, but we have a turn 1 removal spell. Double Skyclave's nice. I think we just slow him down on mana production. Given our hand, we're going to put this on white. So really need a land. A land would be fantastic. Land. Land. Of course not. Of course not. Land would have been great there. Skyclaving it would have had a threat in play. Okay, so Cindervines is going to blow up Rest in Peace. Again, if we drew a land, we could have taken care of this. They were tapped out. What do you want, opponent? I think Skyclave's the correct... Like, Death Shadow's the least worrisome here. I think given the composition of their hand, let's just go Spellbinder, get a threat in play here. So they have double claim, fatal push. So they're gonna claim both my things. So I think we get rid of the claim here. Like, it's not great in any case, because they're just going to sack my things. They can pay 3 mana for the turn. We may just Ashiok start milling them. Actually think we're getting rid of the oven here. Like, yeah, this can get rid of Rest in Peace, but it makes these claims a lot worse from the opponent's side. Now what they can do is Cinder Vines my Rest in Peace and then trigger Revolt for this Fatal Push. As always, let's make the opponent react before giving them information on our turn. They can also eat the food. So they're deciding what they want to push here. So I think given that, we take them off this. This way, if they don't have a sack outlet, this is probably just Jengantha for the turn. Pretty easy trade, I think. Like, I wasn't planning on them blocking, which is a little odd that they would. So we have Knight here. I think we're just taking a turn with Ranger. Let's go get Selfless. Do I want Selfless? Probably. Or All Seed. They know we have the Death Shadow in hand. It's probably just protection spells. Kind of annoying. They have 1 damage on demand. So I can start milling them. I can Knight. I can Ranger again. Let's attack first. So the opponent's Fatal Push doesn't work now. I think we're just playing this out. Need to find one of our removal spells. It's a little awkward because this just always represents a point of damage to kill these. Next turn I can do this with mana up, which I think is the line I want to take. think that's an easy block. They lose the land here. So yeah, they kill this. They get the 2 tokens. I'm not too worried about it, because they can't get rid of this. Let's see what they want to do here. So it's a little awkward right now how we're set up, because they could claim. I don't really care if they claim. Let's get probably just fairy. Like, Shadow's not doing too much for us right now. If they have a sack, then it's a little awkward. Let's just get this out. So yeah, they can steal this, sack it, but that's kind of a waste. And like getting more Death Shadows when we don't. The one thing with this deck, I think we want a couple more ways to hurt ourselves. So that's trying to trigger Revolt, is my guess. In any case, we'll take the damage. I guess they were trying to bait getting 2 damage on Knight. Arkin. I think this is a pretty easy pump if they go for it. Did I have lethal? 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I missed lethal. Missed lethal there. So here, so you always want to play your Arkin last. Hopefully it doesn't punt us. Okay, you get 1 spell for the turn opponent. Okay, so if I put this in the air, that's effectively 5, 6, 7, 8. They block the 2 on the ground. Doesn't quite do it. I think this turn we just Arkin again. don't think they play sweepers. If they do, they do. Got him. Got him. Why don't you take a look at the sideboard? If we want to add any other types of removal in here. So we have 2 Blood Chiefs. We have 4 removal spells main. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think it's just the way it kind of aligns. Okay, let's give this one more. And that's a game. That last game showed, like, patience-wise, like, you're not going all in, you just want to control the board. We missed lethal, but we're able to recoup it. Even just being able to kind of tax your opponent is pretty interesting. Knight of Theban Legion's just such a great card. Keep this hand. So again, with this hand here, we have the option to shock ourselves, but against Gruul, that's typically not where you want to be. Actually, drawing the 1-up Giant Killer is pretty good here. Adanto typically isn't great in this matchup. Well, if the opponent's going to draw like that, we'll take it. Drawn a good share of lands here. Okay, the way the opponent's hand's shaping up, I think it's okay. We have this Giant Killer up. Can you say Collected Company? Okay, so I can shot. Wow, no Collected Company. If they stomp, I could pay 4 life. The opponent's hand was Llanowar Elves and a BT. What did they keep? That's a strange one. Blood Chief. Dire Tactics. Vanishing Verse. What do we want out? Thoughtseize. It's a very quick cut. So the thing is with Gruul, they play pretty fast to the board. So I'm actually not interested in these Inquisitions, I don't think. Now, this can deal with Embercleave, but for the most part it's a dead card. I think Archon of Emeria is decent. The Evasive Flyers are fine. I'm actually going to trim the Adanto. I don't love Thalia here because we're bringing in removal. Okay, so the things with Thalia, let's see. We do have a good number of creatures. How many non-creatures? Instant sorceries, we have 15, but it's counting our lands. So yeah, maybe instead of Adanto, we bring in these Thalias. The first strike's relevant. So I don't mind that. And then just like an Adanto as a whatever. I think we want one more removal spell. In these like aggressive matchups where you want to cut 4 Adantos, I think we want one more way to kill creatures. And one thing that might be interesting is something like Languish. Our creatures typically get large, so to be able to languish your opponent's board and you still keep your Death Shadows. So I think that would be a consideration, one of Languish. This hand is garbage. I think this hand's reasonable. We will put Agadeems away, I think. Probably Agadeems. It's a little awkward because this black line, but our turns are going to be like this. Because late game will always have the biggest creature for the most part. We just need to get to the late game. I think even maybe something like another giant killer could be relevant. Opponent server die on them. Got kicked out of a couple games already today. Had it lock up my whole computer. MTG Arena. Taking down an i7 32 gig RAM RTX 2060. Okay. We do want to see one more land if possible. Curving into these will be nice. Okay. I see Bone Crusher there. Again, Thalia is not great, but it fills a role here. We can eat that with the ooze. Skyclave's interesting. I think I'm willing to take a look at their hand first. Okay, I need to be mindful here, because if I Skyclave... This lets me take a more aggressive stance. But it's worse if they have another... I think we go Skyclave. Elite Spellbinder here. Oh, they got nothing. Okay, so that's fine. That's our next turn play. I think I'm even willing here to trade. So this is 9 mana. So this could get big, but we have exile effects, and this is... Yeah, I guess that's better. So they can hit me for 4 here. Yeah, I'm gonna get this cleave online. Okay, well, we do have dire tactics. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. Have to take 1 here, but dealing with that's nice. Also get a free munch there. So question here, Because their turns likely equip this, I kill it, and then I Skyclave their Bone Crusher Giant. That's an interesting line. This exiles, right? Yeah. Just keep trying to tempo them out. Get rid of you. I mean, I'm not blocking this Adonta or this Pelt Collector, so let's just try to kill him. Let's put some pretty close to dead on board. They hit me for 6 here. If near deadlands, puts 2 1/1 counters. I'm actually missing a black source, which is a bit awkward. So we'll play a Danto first, play Arkin. Last turn. So they have 6 damage. Got him. Taking out Gruul is actually quite impressive. Nice. So we got up to Diamond 3. I think that was a good demonstration of the deck. Let me know what you think. And as always, you can like, comment, and subscribe. It goes a long way to helping out the channel. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a great one. And Arena is dead.